James, how's your day?
Not too shabby. It was a lot of shouting. So my voice is a little raw. So if we do a little bit of a jazz announcer on the for the podcast,
We should both do it. We should both be like, hey,
Hey,
how's
how's it
things
going?
going? This is how we're gonna do the whole episode, everybody, eh? I don't know, I'm Canadian.
It's super low deep Canadian.
Hi everyone and welcome to Tabletop today. My camera right there, and Thomas Cook, one of the hosts of this channel, just so there's enough time for this lower third to go by.
And hello there, my name is James Aaron. Oh, enough for that lower third to go by.
This is episode 2, man.
Episode 2.
Who thought it would get this far?
I mean, you know, when you just gotta do it. You just gotta go out there and make things happen, and then things happen.
Right.
Yeah.
We're still working on the format of the show, trying to get everything dialed in. We do know that we're going to do a little bit of newsy stuff. More news coming later.
Yes.
And then some crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding Corner.
Crowdfunding Corner.
Yes.
Because it's more than just Kickstarter. It's also Indiegogo and GameFound.
And Backer Kit, because Backer Kit decided to no longer just fulfill orders.
Right.
They're like, why can't we just do the exact same thing?
Yeah. Cut out the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wow, very official.
Oh.
Taking off the glasses.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, we're going to get into the bit of the news, which there's a really big event happening right now in our industry, Thomas.
It may be right now as you watch this, or else in a week. Because it is Essen Spiel.
Yes.
The Essen Spiel.
Essen Spiel,
Spiel?
Spiel, Essen.
Spiel
Yes.
means game, is that right?
I believe so.
Okay.
And I do believe Essen is the place that it takes place in.
It is a city in Germany.
So it is just Game City.
Well, Essen is a city in Germany.
Yes, but for this weekend and this weekend only, 4 days.
Game City.
7 different halls. This was info provided and read from Board Game Wire. Apparently, it's the size of 14 football fields with which they are taking over for Spielessen.
Indoors, that's a lot.
That's a lot. A lot of different space.
Yeah, outdoors, it's not. It's like 10 acres.
Yeah. Yeah, but the exciting thing about it is they are going to be topping what seems to likely be their pandemic or pre-pandemic numbers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
B, there's going to be a lot of people with con crud.
Yes.
How many people?
So
I mean, I'm very curious to know about this because obviously the pandemic killed so much stuff and a lot of it hasn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to see that this is, and to kind of get an idea of the enormity of the numbers.
Yes. So it started back, can I do math right now? Back in 1983. So that is many years, and I believe it's 47 different times with which it has been held.
We're going to go through every year, everyone.
Every year. Now, well, since 2011, they had over 100,000 attendees, and it has gone all the way up to 2019, 209,000.
Now, is that, okay, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Is that turnstiles? Or is that individual attendees?
I'm going to say likely turnstile, because post-pandemic, they did reduce the day cap to about 50,000 people. So some people likely have all 4-day pass, and so more likely turnstile is what they are counting. So, but per day, 50,000 plus people were attending.
Right.
And then 2020 obviously hit a big fat zero. 2021, 93,600.
2021, 93,000.
600. Yeah.
That's a lot for 2001.
Yeah. And if, let's say, conservatively, there was...
Divided by 4.
So that's like 15,000 people. That's still quite a bit of people.
That's a lot of people in 2021.
Going back and through.
Then again, Europe was very much more realistic about the pandemic, and the U.S. was not.
Yes, the Americans, us Americans, we were waffling a lot.
Yeah.
Those Americans.
Well, we had states that were shut down until like 2024.
Yeah.
Like, really?
It was a time. It was a time. But then in 2022, they reached the same numbers that they reached in 2011, which was 147,000.
Okay, nice.
And then 2023, 193,000. And then 2024, 204,000. So they are 5,000 below. And their expectations is if they do sell out this year, they will be hitting 220,000 attendees.
Wow. It's not too late to go.
It's not too late. So you can go and hop on that plane straight to Germany, to the game city, Spielessen. That is also not just a city for games. The city doesn't just shut down the moment the con ends.
Would it be weird if I literally just was like, bought a ticket in an hour and was like, screw you, everybody, I'm leaving?
Hey, I mean, y'all, just to dox ourselves a little bit, we are freelancers. So we could just get on a plane and go. And be one of the 220,000 attendees who arrive. Unfortunately, we couldn't attend on Saturday because that is fully sold out. But there is still room on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
I could play the Game Makers.
You could play the Game Makers, which we referenced in our first episode.
Somebody backed it.
You backed it?
I backed. Okay.
After being like, this is $300. I can't do it, man.
200.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And 32. With shipping. I backed the $10 access to the Pledge Manager. Because if I don't get anything else, they've got a 5-inch panda meeple that will go on that shelf behind you.
You just want to get the 5-inch panda meeple.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next episode. Well, I mean, how long? When is fulfillment?
Next year.
Next year. Okay.
Episode
32.
32. We'll have that panda meeple right back there.
Calling it now. Sports gambling, because that's so popular.
What is the over under on getting the panda meeple? Really, that depends on how many episodes we shoot. Because
how industrious we are.
Yeah.
So that also depends on you. If you help us with all of the wonderful links down below, we may get to episode 32 or more or less. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yes. But
or I buy the game.
Or you just buy the game and also get
and obviously the panda meeple.
But we're doing over under on the panda meeple. That's what we care about.
Yep. I'm gonna say 32 because who knows? 32 sounds good.
32. All right. I'll stick with 32 because I believe I did say that.
So we're both not going over or under. We're going right at 32.
Okay, fine. We'll do Price is Right. I'll do 31.
Okay. And I'll do over.
Yeah.
Under over. Okay. How about you? Tell us in the comments when you think we'll get a 5-inch panda meeple. I do have contacts at Panda. So maybe.
Could get one earlier.
But then that would be rewarding you with your
Exactly.
Under. Oh, man. Moral dilemmas.
How
much do I want to win versus how much do I want a panda meeple?
I think I'm going to win. And with that, I think we can move over to Crowdfunding Corner.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Crowdfunding Corner. This is where I don't know what I'm doing.
Anyway, we don't know what we're doing. This is our second episode. We're still figuring it out. But yeah, we're going to be talking about two crowdfunding things, both on Kickstarter.
Yep.
That have caught our eye. And the first one being
Daggerheart Class Packs. So these Daggerheart uses cards.
Mm-hmm.
They're not required to play the game, but it helps be at the table with physical things. So I think that it adds in fun.
Mm-hmm.
And they have all 9 classes on a Kickstarter right now. 13 days ago on the day that we are recording this. And each class pack is $25.
Yes. And you can get all 9 for $175, which is a $50 discount.
I did not go to math school. So
Me neither. I've got a degree in theater.
Well, I feel like the journalism degree is one up on theater. Anyway.
But yes, 25 for individual packs. If you buy all 9, it's $175, which is $50 off.
That's so obviously these are for players.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that a lot of people that I know often play the same class all the time, which is not healthy in my opinion, but you do you. I like to try and sample all the players.
Variety is the spice of life.
So all through 3rd edition. So 2nd edition, I played rogues like a lot. 3rd edition, I never got to play a rogue.
Why?
It's party balance. So other people had more. Even though I really wanted to, I saw that other people had way more desire to play a rogue class. So I opted for other things to help the party out. But in 5th edition, I think I've played, of the core classes, I have played all of them but Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, on our arenas over on Quest and Chaos.
Yeah, one shots here and there, just playing with the mechanics.
I played the same Barbarian twice, I believe.
Yep.
In the last one.
Yep. Bob.
Yeah, Bob. So if I were to buy class packs for Daggerheart, again, with the studio space and this thing, I would want to buy all 9.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to buy all 9. So what would I do? Would I get like the roguey class or the fighter class? Or...
I mean, yeah, as a player, if you're playing a longer term campaign, sure, you would get 1 pack and then just rest in that for the time being.
I wonder, I wonder if this is half marketing, because they have to just have these available for sale.
Yeah.
After the fact.
Well, I mean, at the bottom, of course, they have the distributor slash not distributor.
Retail levels.
Retail levels that one can participate in. But I do believe you can provide an interesting perspective, Thomas, because you have also printed cards for product, which behind me.
This episode of Tabletop Today is sponsored by the Deck of Inspiration. Reward your players with one-time use boons, magic items, and potions, and make it a lot more fun at your table than a simple advantage reroll.
Thomas makes these cards. So boom, bam. But I think you can provide some interesting perspective on it because you have manufactured cards. You've gone through the whole process. Now, obviously, Daggerheart, Darrington Press is a larger team, but on an individual level, you don't have to get into exact numbers, but how much did it cost per deck to make?
With all printing and production, all manufacturing, the more you make, the cheaper it is per unit.
Yeah.
So... we were doing the math of how much did we raise? How much can we print? We ended up not making any money, quote unquote, off the Kickstarter. We used all of the funds of the Kickstarter to just print a mass quantity amount. And I think that we did 2,250 for each deck. 5 decks. So there's like 12,000 units that showed up on a pallet.
Yeah.
We still have 10,000 units left, so if you want to get yours, they're available. And there was a lot to consider in that math. The amount that we want to sell them for, which is, I can actually go through that math right now. So what you have is you've got your retail price. Your wholesale price is half of that.
Yep.
Isn't half of that? Yes, your wholesale price is half of that. So we have a retail price of $15. So a retailer can come direct to us and buy the decks at $7.50. they get 100% markup. Obviously they've got shipping and all the other stuff, and housing and storing it and marketing and all that other stuff. The distributor cost, we get 40% of retail.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you are lucky, you have manufactured them for half of the distributor cost. So on a vague, roughly scale, it's about $2 a deck.
$2 a deck.
Manufacturing. That's and if I did less quantity, it would be $3 a deck.
Yeah.
So and it was a pretty sharp drop off, right, on where to make the sweet spot.
Okay.
But so our best bang for the buck when people purchase them is to go directly to us at shop.questandchaos.com, but it's also better for us to have retailers out there with it in, so anybody going through that store can see, oh, what is this? Let me look at it. It's cool.
Yeah.
We do a lot of sales at conventions when we go, which is why I'm always like, is it turnstile or is it regular? Because you want to figure out how much is that table worth at a convention. And not many are for us, because we've got card decks, dice trays, and now dice. And that's not enough to really like generate enough sales to cover travel, shipping, the table, hotels, the unions to get your stuff in from the shipping dock to your booth. That adds up in cost.
Yeah. I mean,
do I think that these are overpriced? Yes.
Yeah. So each of these are $25. So getting into the math, like the reason I'm curious about it is because what is the pricing of it? And likely, I will assume that Daggerheart can produce a lot more and ship out a lot more than Deck of Inspiration. So we'll be conservative. Let's say they just do $1 per deck, right, to make it, right? Would that be?
Well, I mean, so I'm looking at their quality, right? They've got their high quality. These are not, there's level qualities.
Yes.
I would say they're probably around $2 a deck minimum.
$2.
But that's manufacturing cost.
Yeah.
They have artwork on every card. Obviously a big design, development, marketing team with big names on it.
Yeah.
So,
but also with these,
so just manufacturing cost isn't like a 1-to-1 ratio.
Not a 1-to-1 ratio, but I will say with Daggerheart, the design of the game is already complete. Like, it's all already in the book, and you just kind of have to copy and paste. And then you have to pay a person who does artwork as well as formatting for the cards. So it's not as big as a lift as one might initially imagine, where it's like, oh, they're creating a whole new thing. No, it's just a repackaging of something that has already been paid for and developed. Now, not to speculate, but who knows whether they have made their money back on all of the things for Daggerheart. But yeah, just like looking at it, it's like it's got 1,580 backers, and we'll assume all of those are individuals, right?
Yeah.
Like just assuming that. So
231,000 divided by 1,580.
Yeah. So let's see what that is.
You know what's interesting though? So I'm actually, if these were in retail at $25 a deck, and I was playing a game of Daggerheart, that's totally acceptable for a price.
Yeah.
Because I would most likely just get the one that I'm getting.
Yeah.
With this one, I feel like I'm pressured because it's a Kickstarter. Like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to play all of these. I better get them all, because what if someone at the table wants to play something else, and they're like, they'll cry and go home if they can. Just, sorry, experience. But I'm just like, you want to be able to like have that flow. I feel like I'm being pressured. I feel like I'm being pressured right now to buy these, and I'm going to buy them. And
I mean, are you even going to be playing Daggerheart?
In fact, Quest and Chaos is playing a 3-shot of Daggerheart coming up in November.
Did you see that
Yes.
lob, everybody? Did you see that lob?
I am playing Daggerheart.
Did you see that lob, y'all?
Link down below, right up there.
I'm a pro host. I know what I'm doing. I know my people. Anyway, we're not gonna do James Math Corner, even though James has done math before.
What happened in the Math Corner? People got an average of 146 decks per person.
$146 per person is what people are spending now. Obviously, the numbers just went up as I was talking about it. But obviously, there are probably some retailers in there that are putting forth more money so that way this does get funded. I mean, it was funded in probably one of those quick things. But yeah, like I did the math in the car the other day where it's just like, if it's 100,000, let's say they make 100,000 decks, right? So if that's $1 per, that's $100,000. So then for them, 100,000 decks divided by $25, they only need to sell 4,000 of them,
right,
to make up that 100,000. Now, granted, if this isn't taking account to like shipping and getting it to other places, but with that, 996,000 of it is technically profit, which times that by 25. Nope.
Where did that math come from?
So 100,000 decks, let's say, and you said,
okay,
let's go actually back to your number. Let's say it's $200,000 to make, right?
Yeah. Okay. $200,000 to make,
and they're selling them at $25 per.
Okay.
So they just have to sell 8,000.
Okay.
So they still have 992,000, or sorry, 99 math. 92,000 decks available for pure profit.
Right.
Times that by 25, they're still making 2,300,000 if they sell all of those.
Right. A smart company would not spend all of their Kickstarter money on the decks themselves. They would use that to pay the artists and people on your staff and all the other stuff and the marketing and everything.
Well, like they've raised 200,000,
which I'm surprised it's that low.
Yes,
to be honest with you.
And with 13 days to go, but it's like, if hypothetically they did make 100,000 decks, they would spend 200,000 of that. Yeah. And if they get past that initial 8,000, everything after that is profit.
How many decks?
8,000.
No, but how many decks would they would print 1,000 or 100,000?
In a hypothetical situation.
If you print 100,000 of those decks, even with a high quality, you're going to pay 50 cents a deck.
Yeah. So this is big numbers, but also makes big numbers make smaller numbers because you're ordering a lot to make it small.
Again, a smart business person has people on staff that is not me. Are not me, is not me.
But anyway. Even like 50,000 decks, that's $100,000. Yeah. And then say it would be 4,000 decks you have to sell, and then the other 46,000.
So the retailer tier on this, you're telling me, might only be $12.50 a deck.
Maybe.
Does it actually say? I really wish I could see.
I can read if you scroll all the way down.
All the way down.
So we've got our individual decks. Scroll.
The monitor in front of us is not big enough.
They're good for I believe they have a contact for retailers at the bottom. Because right now Kickstarter is just pure as if I was just a regular consumer.
So, I mean, the one thing, this packaging is obviously we just have like a tuck box. Mm-hmm. This box is way more higher quality, bigger, tarot size. I don't know if these are tarot size. They look bigger than. No, maybe they are just standard poker size.
Yeah, but I believe it is also 75 cards and compared to.
if these were out before November, I would just go buy one class deck. But yeah.
Well, that was Daggerheart and James's Math Corner.
Did we do anything worthwhile there?
I don't know. We talked about the state of things, but in contrast, numbers are going up. In contrast, the Daggerheart decks, there are 13 days left. This Kickstarter has 13 days left. Yet this Kickstarter has about 5 times more money raised.
8 times more backers, 7 times more backers. Tell us about Dice Throne.
Dice Throne Vanguard. Now, Dice Throne Vanguard is, to my knowledge, is a 1v1 game. The Spiel Eschen has entered my soul. Is a 1v1 game where each player has their unique class hero. And I know they've done like Marvel spin-offs as well, like where you can like have Loki or Miles Morales, but in the classic version, like there's Barbarian and Paladin, very stereotypical fantasy classes, and you just fight each other one-on-one. And when you buy one of these boxes, which usually comes with 2 characters, one of your opponent plays one character and you play the other character, and they each have individual stats and abilities, and you roll dice, and Dice Throne dice indicates things happening. And then with Dice Throne Vanguard,
it's not spelled throne, and it's like it's thrown like a thing you sit on, not thrown like you're throwing dice.
No, it's thrown like Dice Throne. Whoa,
Dice
y'all
Throne?
smart.
Because you said Dice Throne.
Yeah, but you're on a dice throne.
Okay.
Wow, smart, because you want to be the person on the throne that wins. But Dice Throne Vanguard seems to be their new push for 4 new characters. Possibly, I think they're in season 3. This might be the ushering in.
I think we'll learn more about this later.
We'll learn more about this later with our very special guest, a personal friend of mine. But yeah, Dice Throne Vanguard, you get 4 heroes with all the classic rules of Dice Throne. But in this Kickstarter, you'll get 4 characters, an NPC that you can fight with or against, with another player against the NPC, or you can just fight one-on-one with the NPC.
So this introduces a co-op mechanic or a solo gameplay, whereas before it was the one-on-one gameplay like Magic. This is, hey, we are cooperatively trying to kill this dragon.
Yes. Neuraxis.
The Devourer.
Yes. Wow, that is some funky font. Yeah, that's Neuraxis. Ooh.
That's a 32-inch monitor, and it's too small.
We're trying, folks. We're trying. But yeah, in contrast, the full box with all 4 heroes base Kickstarter is $60. So basically $15 per hero.
Yeah.
And you get kind of the full game.
I feel like that's a fantastic price point. Like when I don't know much at all about Dice Throne, except when I saw it, triggered the memory of our guest, and the fact that it's a game for $60. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. That's what it should cost.
Yeah, and you get a full experience.
Yeah,
as opposed to a supplemental experience, which with Daggerheart is like, again, you don't need the cards, but it is a nice thing to have. And yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's 2 completely different things. Part of why we are juxtaposing these together is that when you see one of them, you're like, 25 a deck. And then this one, you're like, oh, 15 a deck? And it comes with a box and a bad guy? Like, yeah, that seems kind of right.
Psychology.
Yeah. And the fact that this one is at $1 million, and the Daggerheart with all of that Critical Role marketing, Darrington Press behind it is only, 200,000.
Yeah.
I mean, part of that is RPGs versus board games.
Yeah.
Like there's the board game market, as you can see. The Essenspiel is a board game con.
Yep.
It's not an RPG convention. That's GameholeCon, and that's like 4,000 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think it. I just find it surprising that the board game market, despite many things, and maybe the pandemic helped with that in a way, because this is just me now speculating. Like, we're on Zoom, we're like constantly talking to people virtually, and maybe it has unlocked some greater desire to be with people in space. And then how to facilitate that beyond just like, let's have a kickback is board games. That way we can have a structured way with which we interact with one another, that a game provides.
I mean, I just think that the accessibility for board games is so much lower than, like, it's so much easier to get into a board game than it is into a RPG.
I mean, just thinking about books, right? Like, RPG books are usually 2 fingers, and then a board game.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A board game manual is like half of a finger.
Yeah.
And that's all the rules you need.
Nowadays.
Yeah, because you're like.
It used to be like, it's a two-sided
paper.
No, but I mean, board games have, for the longest time, been, it's a family get together. It's a half hour, 30 minutes to play a game if you're not playing Monopoly, and it's easy, and the fact that we have evolved into 6-hour games is I think a different, I think that's its own thing.
Yeah.
Whereas board games, even like the Horrified, any board game that you see in Target, like, great games, but it's that huge mass appeal, where you don't need to go into the lore or have miniatures for everything. I don't know. I just, board games are super fun, and I love the fact that they're like a half an hour.
Yeah.
And then you can do something else. Play it again.
Play it again, play a different one, different variety. Yeah, I think also more, and we're going back to James Math Corner. Not gonna lie, y'all, US got tariffs.
Yeah.
On a lot of the products that board games produce. Most of the manufacturing is in China or other places. And it doesn't seem to be slowing things down, which I find fascinating, because in other sectors of industry, the tariffs have been slowing trade, and yet with board games, if Spielessen is any indication of the market of popularity for board games, it doesn't seem to be stopping.
Oh, no. It's getting bigger. It's like every time you meet somebody, like, well, we were talking to somebody, we know somebody, asked if they were a gamer, and they said, a board gamer. And they said no, and then they went to list like 30 games they played over the last 2 weeks.
Wait, who is this?
That's someone that we work at a certain bed and breakfast.
Got it. Yeah.
In the air.
Yeah. Because we work at bed and breakfast on our off time. Again, freelancers.
Yeah, in the air. Yeah. I was like, she's like, I'm not a board gamer. I played this, and then we played that. And it's like,
this and like that.
Play more board games than I do.
Yeah. Because someone has time.
Because they're in full time.
Freelancers, we have to find where our money is.
But then again, it's Friday at 2.
Yeah.
I've been up since 4:45.
My body woke me up at 7.
My dog woke me up at 4:45.
Anyway, that's Crowdfunding Corner.
Crowdfunding Corner. All right, James, welcome back from Crowdfunding Corner.
You want to take that again?
No retakes. There are no retakes. Half the time I do that, I'm joking. Anyway, it's neither here nor there.
He's the editor, so if it makes it in, it makes it in. If it don't, it don't.
Tell us about this guest and why we're having them on.
Yes. We will be having my good friend Lawrence Michael Arias. He is a theater actor that I have come to know here in the San Francisco Bay Area, but he's also a big board game enthusiast. And luckily for him, he's retired now.
From acting?
No, from his day job. And he decided in his time to go work at a local board game store. So with that, one, he has that perspective. He works at a local board game store. Two, he's started designing his own board games, all of them in prototype, but they all have different elements of board games that we have come to know and love, and I've been able to enjoy and play. But one of the big things is he is a Dice Roy, one of the 4 here in Northern California, and they represent Dice Throne as a company within the consumer market to facilitate games, help on a more
do tournaments and stuff?
Tournaments, more grassroots like promotion of the game. So that is why we're going to have Lawrence Michael here today to, one, speak a bit about his journey going from consumer into a more official role within the board gaming space, but not necessarily like a manufacturer or a distributor, how you could potentially also get involved. And then also on his knowledge of Dice Throne to speak more on that as not just a game, but as the Kickstarter helped illustrate, this bigger phenomenon that is pulling in $1 million crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Sure, and we will get right into it right now.
How do we start these? We start them like this.
We start them like,
hello. Welcome to Tabletop today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
James, who do we have with us today?
Well, today we have Lawrence Michael Arias, my good friend, theater maker, actor, but for us here today, board game enthusiast, as well as board game cafe employee, plus Dice Roy for Dice Throne. And as you can see with all the accoutrement, that's a large point of talking today. But I just gave a quick rundown. Lawrence Michael, could you just tell our audience who you are?
Yes, I'm happy to. Thanks, James. So my name actually is Lawrence Michael C. Arias. I do have a middle initial, mainly because people think I'm being pretentious by having both my first and my middle name, but no, Lawrence Michael is actually my first name. So for me, I go by Lawrence Michael C. Arias. I am retired. I retired last year after working 29 years for the Santa Clara County Department of Tax and Collections and their IT department. But since I retired, I've gone full-fledged into my next passion other than acting, which is board games. And a couple months after I retired, I started working at a board game cafe in Mountain View, California, Next Level Board Game Cafe. And at the end of last year, I officially signed up to be a Dice Throne ambassador who helps with their organized play worldwide. And that position is called a Dice Roy. So that's me. I am a big fan of Dice Throne. It actually started because a few years ago, I want to say around 2019, I think, I posted on Reddit on a board game Reddit saying like, what's on your wish list for this Christmas? And I said, I listed a bunch of games, and one of them was King of Tokyo, which, if most of you know, is a dice rolling game. And I said, I love dice rolling, so King of Tokyo is on my wish list. And one user replied, hey, if you like dice rolling games, and you should check out Dice Throne. That it's really interesting. It's a little bit more has more depth than King of Tokyo. And I'm like, I'll check it out. Sounds interesting. And I checked it out. Got myself a couple battle boxes, 2-player sets, and I loved it. I just absolutely loved it. And I've upgraded my two-player battle box sets to the 8-character battle box sets, and have been backing their Kickstarters the last few Kickstarter campaigns they've had. I've been pretty much all in for most part. I'd like to say that all the Dice Throne characters, you see that I have every available Dice Throne character, which is 35. But as of a few days ago, it's no longer true because last year they had a Kickstarter campaign that had started fulfilling. And so a lot of people are getting the latest campaign pledge, which is Dice Throne Outcasts. And they have 4 new characters. So there are now currently 39 characters available, of which I only have 35, and because I have not received my pledge just yet. So hopefully in the next few weeks I'll receive them. Then I can go back to say I have everything. So
how many other people that play this have the full collection?
So Dice Throne has a wonderfully great, huge fan base, and so I'm going to say a whole bunch of them.
Okay.
So working at the cafe and hand in hand being New Dice from Dice Roy, as I'm doing organized play, obviously we're teaching people how to play, some new players how to play Dice Throne, and also the fun thing is seeing people get passionate about something that I'm passionate about. It's like, oh, I'm going to get this character, I'm going to get that, oh, I'm ordering the battle box, and all that, and so I'm sure it's growing. So I'm sure.
Sorry to jump in. I mean, I love that about gaming, where it's like, I found this really cool thing, I'm going to tell you about it, rather than I found this cool thing and it's mine.
I mean, inherently, you have to share with board games because unless it is a solo board game, you kind of need other people to play. Yes. So you have to share. And speaking of sharing, you did mention a little bit about Dice Throne, and it's about its dice rolling. Could you just explain briefly how the game works?
Absolutely. At its very simplistic description, people have said that this is a battle Yahtzee game. Again, it's other people have also said that it's a mix between Yahtzee and Magic the Gathering, which I get. So the main mechanic is, first of all, is you are playing, you can choose from so many different characters, 35 characters. Each of the characters have their own unique dice, have mostly their own unique cards. So the game is played in rounds, and each round has different phases. There's a phase where you get income. It starts with an upkeep, where anything that you've been inflicted with, like you might have been inflicted with poison or burning, so then you'll resolve that at the beginning of your turn. Next, you'll do your income phase. In your income phase, you always draw a card. You'll always gain a combat point. Combat point, or CP, is your resource in which you use to play cards. So then there's your main phase, where you play cards, whatever you can during your main phase. These cards would be either upgrading your abilities. So every character has a character board, and on your character board has all your abilities that you can do. And then after you play cards, the meat and potatoes of the game is the dice rolling phase. And that's where you take your 5 dice, your unique 5 dice, and you roll a la Yahtzee up to 3 times. You can roll whichever dice you want, keep whichever dice you want, roll as many as you want, but total no more than 3 times, to try to get different combinations that's on your board. And different combinations might be like a full house if you get 2 symbols and 3 specific symbols, or if you get a small straight, which is 4 dice in numerical order, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a small straight. Or if you get a large straight, which is all 5 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then they will do certain effects. Mostly, hopefully, that effect is to damage your opponent. So if you get let's say you do a small straight, maybe you're only doing 7 points of damage, but if you do a large straight, maybe you're doing 9 or something like that. Right. And again, every character is different. Abilities will also give you status effects, or which are little tokens that you can either, positive status effects you either gain for yourself. Maybe it's a status effect that allows you to add more damage, or maybe heal yourself. Or it could be a negative status effect that you want to inflict on your opponent, that it might be blind or burning or poison that I mentioned earlier, which will happen during the upkeep. And that's sort of basically it. There's another second main phase where you can play more cards. You can't have more than 6 cards in your hand, so you'll want to discard them or sell them, because you get a combat point for every card you sell. And that's basically it. So you're trying to whittle your opponent down to get them down to 0 health. And if you do that, then you win. One of the fun things about the game itself is every character has their ultimate ability, which if you roll yachts a la Yahtzee. If you roll all sixes, which is you get to do your most powerful attack. And one of the fun things about that is nothing stops an ultimate. Nothing stops an ultimate. If it happens, even if you have a shield or if you have something that protects you or something that diminishes that opponent's attack, if they're doing their ultimate, you can't stop it. You just say, how much damage? Let me have it. That's it. One more thing I want to mention. So with the dice rolling, you get up to 3 times, but you remember that you have cards.
Yeah.
Some of the cards do allow you to alter dice.
Yes.
So
I was
you
going to
can
ask
have,
if you could augment
yes.
this, not just pure
so
rolling.
You have twice as wild, where you can change any 2 dice. You can tip it. You could just tip 1 die, 1 number down, up or down. So this will allow you to get your optimum attack or your optimum.
Right.
But here's the thing: your opponent also has cards. So you might roll your ultimate and said, "I got all 6s," and then they said, "Hang on, I've got a twice as wild. I will change 2 of your dice."
Okay.
Back to 1s or something. So hopefully you also have that card that's like, well, I'm changing it back, and then I'm keeping my ultimate. But sometimes, that's unfortunately not unfortunately, but that's the only way to stop an ultimate, right? Is to change the dice. If you don't change the dice and it's locked in, then nothing stops it.
Amazing.
So that's a very, very basic thing about Dice Throne. The fun thing about it is because there's so many characters and every character is fairly unique, is trying to figure out like what gameplay has been introduced for this character and what's different about this character and how do I best maximize those abilities in order to win. For example, the Pyromancer, which is my favorite character from Season 1 Battle Box, she's a glass cannon. She's a damage dealer. She just burns, no defense. So it's if you can get a few hits down, she can definitely go down. But again, it's a race to the finish, right? She's just trying to do as much damage as she can before she goes down herself. Second one, the Cursed Pirate. The fun thing about Cursed Pirate, all the characters have a board. And all the characters generally have an upgrade ability where you can upgrade your ability that's on the board. But for the Cursed Pirate, what's fun with her is she has no upgrade abilities, but instead she has these cursed doubloons where she has a few and then every round she has to get rid of them. If she ever runs out of doubloons and has to get rid of them, her whole board flips over and she becomes this skeleton version of herself, and every single ability on her board is the upgraded ability. So now she's doing a lot more damage with every ability, but every turn she takes damage, which means again for her it's also a race to the finish. She wants to be powerful enough to destroy her enemies before she herself succumbs to the curse.
Wow.
So again, everyone is sort of different. Everybody has their own neat mechanic. That, and part of the fun of being a Dice Throne fan is learning and trying to figure out what's the best way to use all these different mechanics.
So the new Kickstarter that's currently running right
now,
they say they introduced a co-op mechanic, but is that been available elsewhere?
So again, at its base, Dice Throne is a 1v1 battle game. However, they've introduced different variants. You could do 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. You can do King of the Hill, everyone against all. But with their first expansion, which is Dice Throne Adventures, that introduces sort of a dungeon crawler where all the players, it's a 1 to 4 player game. You are crawling through this dungeon, or portal crawl is what they call it, and you are fighting monsters cooperatively. So you're all fighting one single monster, and then the monster cards sort of have they list what they're trying to roll. So one monster might want to try to roll straights, and so there are rules on how to roll 4 straights, or they might say, oh no, they just want to roll 6s. So you're just rolling dice for the monster to try to get their own 6s, And so that was introduced. That was their first expansion. Then their second expansion, it was for more of the Marvel IP, and that is Marvel Missions, which I think we have
right behind you.
Oh, right behind me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do we put Missions?
Literally right behind you.
Oh yeah, right here. So Marvel missions. So that is more in the Marvel world because a few years ago they did team up with Marvel and they introduced a battle box with Marvel first, which has, you can't see, but it has like Thor and Loki, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, and my favorite of the box, Doctor Strange. I've been a big fan of Doctor Strange, so I was so happy that was there. The only thing that would have made this better is if they actually made a Magneto playable character, because that's one of my other favorites. Magneto. And I was like, oh, they must do Magneto. So when they announced that they did X-Men, they introduced these characters. They introduced Gambit, Jean Grey, Phoenix, Rogue, Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, Psylocke, and Iceman.
But no Magneto.
Because they said that, well, we have to save him as a fightable boss in missions, which again, missions is sort of like a dungeon crawl. It is cooperative. It is 1 to 4, and you are playing against the game. There's 20 different bosses, of which Magneto is one of them. So all right. I'll let you guys have that one.
So it's not a legacy style where like it's a story based, but each boss is their own little mission to go and.
That's right.
Okay.
Every mission. They introduce a little bit of legacy gaming in that as you progress, your player, not the character, your player improves. So in Dice Throne Adventures, you are actually...
It's like self-help. It's improving me as a player.
No. In Dice Throne Adventures, you do get... you play one character all the way through the campaign, and you do improve your deck. You can get prizes or loot that improves your deck that you can add up to it. But with missions, you actually have a character sheet. It's really a player sheet because every boss you fight, you can choose a different character.
Okay.
But you as a player might say, whichever character you choose, you now have this perk. They introduce perks.
Okay.
So whichever character you use, maybe they start with more CP, or maybe they start with more health or something like that. So that's what I meant by like it's more improving the player rather than.
Is there a set like order you should go through then? Because if you get more and more powerful playing 15 bosses.
Yes, well, the bosses are divided by difficulty level.
Okay,
so there are like your lower level bosses, and then you have your higher level bosses. Nice. So the idea is that you won't fight the higher level bosses until you've earned a few more perks that allow you to stand.
So you got to play a lot of games to fight Magneto. Is that the scenario?
I don't remember what difficulty level is, but he's up there. He's not in the lower levels. So yeah.
Well, thank you for the overview of Dice Throne and a little bit of its development history. I'd love to do a slight pivot into you being a Dice Roy, right?
Yes.
Or I guess I guess this is also like a little bit of a personal journey because you start off as a consumer, right? And then you start to work at a board game store.
Yeah.
Like, what is that transition? Because we were talking a bit off camera. It's like, oh, I always feel like I could, like, you play enough board games. You're like, what if I ran a board game store? What if I ran a board game cafe? Let's start with that transition from just being consumer to essentially starting to work in the industry on a local level.
Okay. So let me start on the working at the cafe. So definitely for, with board games being one of my main passions, the other being theater, of course. So I'm pursuing the theater thing, so that's a lot of fun. But then for the board games, it's just not enough to just play them. You want to bring the joy of playing games to others. And so the first thing that me and a few other friends have thought about, like, hey, what if we opened the board game cafe? And that would be great. And so a friend of mine and I, Dan Demers, if I can mention names. So he lives in San Mateo. I live in San Jose. So and he found this board game cafe that opened downstairs where he worked, and said, "Hey, open. We can be." And we would meet monthly just to play board games. He's also a big Dice Throne fan, and so I said, "Okay, so let's just meet there we meet there every one Saturday a month, and we just spend the day. Usually start with brunch and then just play board games. But then we'd also talk about like, hey, yeah, it would be a dream to own a board game cafe, and wouldn't that be fun? And what would we call it, and what would it look like? And if it was a cafe, you would have a menu. What would you offer as So that definitely was a fun fantasy to pursue, and maybe still, who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But as I was mentioning earlier, I found that in my 56 years that I am not that entrepreneurial. So, and like I don't want to be pushing the business. I'd rather just like sit back, enjoy what it is, and so I thought, well, so that maybe is how I'd like to go about it. And then a couple months after I retired, Dan and I were in Next Level Board Game Cafe, and was talking to the owners. The owners are a young, newly married couple then, still, I guess, newly married couple. And I said, oh, how was your wedding a couple months back? And so, it was great. And like, how was your honeymoon? Haven't gone yet because, we're going in a few months, but we're really stressed because everything's busy and we don't have enough staff. And well, I just retired, so I have all this time, and I love board games, and so that seemed to seem like a good fit for them as well. So they did hire me a couple months later, so that's been fun, and I've enjoyed it. Right, so my job at the cafe is to seat people when they come in with them and their friends, seat them at a table. I recommend games. They can play any of 650 plus games we have in our library. I recommend games, and I can teach the games. Generally, I teach the games that I know. And if I don't know a game that they want to play, and they, at the very least, I could help read the rules with them, because we found that most people don't care how well you know it as long as you read the rules to them. Right. So they just want to be told how to play the game. So that's been a lot of fun. So cut that back to a month after I retired. I decided, again, going with Dan and his brother Chris, we decided to go to Gen Con in Indianapolis. My first time ever going. Always wanted to go, but it's a four-day affair, or Thursday to Sunday, and never could go because of work. But I just retired, so I'm like, I'm going this year. And we went and had a great time. Met Nate Chatelier, who is the lead designer for Dice Throne, and just kept running into him, and participated in my first ever tournament at Gen Con, and placed 8th as a semifinalist. So I was like really excited. So I got a little prize, I got a little mat. So I like ran quickly to Nate. It's like, Nate, will you please sign it? And he so very generously signed it. So then, funny thing is, I was last day was a Sunday. So Monday I fly out, and I'm at the Indianapolis airport, and just crossed my mind, gosh, every single day I kept running into Nate. Easy enough because I know where the booth that he's at. But again, there were other reasons, like me going to him to have him sign my prize, et cetera, from the tournament. And he just crossed my mind, like, gosh, wouldn't it be strange if I ran into him again? And wouldn't you know it? Like, I see Nate. It's like, Nate. So then we just started chatting. And I said, I really would love to be involved in Dice Throne. I just retired. And he said, well, we're not hiring. He's like, that's okay. I just retired. So I'm not looking for another job. And it's like, yeah, but we might have something coming up soon that you might be a good path for you. And so he connected me with Jonathan Herrera Thomas, who is the community development director for Dice Throne. And they basically were coming up with this organized play side of Dice Throne, and they were looking for ambassadors or diceroys. These people would be the ones who would be organizing these organized play tournaments, whether ranked or unranked, learning to play sessions. And diceroys generally work hand in hand with a local game store. And I'd already talked to a game store. So again, it's like, oh, perfect. Well, I'll talk to these people and they might be interested. And they were. And I believe in Northern California, there's only 4 Diceroys. There's Richie Sanders in San Francisco. He runs games at Gamescape San Francisco. There is Jonathan S. Westfall. He's a Diceroy who runs games at Games of Berkeley. And there is David Whitesell, who runs games at Davis cards and games. Davis Card and Games. So there's 4 of us, and then I run it at Next Level Board Game Cafe. And so we are involved with the actual tournaments. The organized play started with a soft launch last year, and San Francisco was one of the original places that Richie and Jonathan were both involved in. And the soft launch, I think, was 13 game stores total. But with the official launch in January of this year, I think we had over 130 local game stores worldwide. And then by February, I think we had over 1,000 unique players in these tournaments. Now, the tournaments are set in 5-month ages. During the soft launch, the first age was called the Age of Destruction, where the Pyromancer was featured. And then it was a total of 5 or 6 tournaments total. And then at each tournament, they were awarded a holographic promo card that they could add to their set. And then the very last one was an actual alternate art board for the Pyromancer. So that was a lot of fun. And then in January, they started the Age of Fortitude, which is the Barbarian. The Barbarian is one of the least complex characters, but definitely not the least powerful. He's still a powerhouse. And actually, I think do I have both? Yes. So with the Barbarian, this is the original art board. But then with the Age of Fortitude, this is the new upgraded promotional art board that you can have.
All one, one.
There we go.
And there are also some cards here, and I was able to get that by participating. And I got that for free by participating in the tournaments. I did not get them by participating in my own tournaments. I had to go to somebody else's tournament in order to get them, of course. But that's it, and it is worldwide now. So we have games that are happening in Sydney, Australia, and some that are also happening even in the Philippines. So I'm very proud. So, not that I had anything to do with it, but definitely enjoying that news. So so that's sort of like, I don't know if that answers your question about where that is. So we are currently in the Age of Devotion, and this is this tournament. Age is focused on the Paladin.
Okay.
So
how many characters are in, like, playable characters are in the range or in the Age?
All
of them?
All of them. Yes. The format is a bring 3, ban 1, which means you can choose out of the 35 currently available. Sorry, now 39 currently available. You can bring 3 characters to play, and then in each battle, you're going to roll dice to see who rolls higher. Whoever rolls higher gets to choose to ban first. Like, I don't want to play against this character,
right?
And then you do vice versa, and then you roll again to see who goes first.
Okay.
So,
and so then from that, it's like you each bring in 3, you ban 1, and then you get to
2
pick
that
from
you
one
can
of the
choose from. That's right. So if you go first, let's say I'm going to use the Barbarian, and the other person, well, in that case, I was going to play Pyromancer, but maybe against Barbarian, maybe I play the Cursed Pirate instead.
Right.
Something like that. So that's and then the basic format is 30 minutes for each battle, and whoever has more points is the winner. The tournament is set up for however many players, but because of space, we can only go up to 32 players. And so with that, generally, that's only 4 rounds. And I believe if there's more players, it might be more rounds. But for us, we're 4 rounds of 30 minutes each.
Yeah, so. Tournament style?
Tournaments, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
bracket.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's bracketed. But there's no eliminations. So everybody still plays against each other. But at the end, everybody's scored. And then there's an actual ranking based on region and based on worldwide ranking. So our players in Mountain View could very well place first in the Western region, which I believe has 13 different states, including like Hawaii and Nevada and Washington and a bunch of other states.
Yeah.
So, and then of course there's also worldwide ranking.
Okay.
So yeah.
If somebody wanted to get into Dice Throne, could look? I'm not Not gonna say
there's a Kickstarter going on right now.
Yes.
Where if
No,
you
no,
just
no.
throw $60 down, you get 4 characters.
First off, only $60 for the Kickstarter. That's fantastic.
And not only that, but they have Kickstarter exclusives. So there's 4 characters in this one called the Vanguard characters, and they're really, really cool. First one is Forge Master, sort of like this dwarven smith, and his mechanic is he's mining for ore that he can then turn into a helmet or a shield, which you can see on his character board. But one of the fun things about it is his status effects are actually shaped like the helmet that matches the artwork. So you actually place the helmet on his head and his shield on his shield whenever you upgrade those items. But the Kickstarter exclusive for the Forge Masters, they're metal. So that's a cool Kickstarter exclusive, only through Kickstarter. Outside Kickstarter in retail, it won't be the metal pieces. Right. There's the Duelist. The Duelist sort of like steps forward and moves backward if they're. It's more about positioning. If they're stepping closer, stepping forward, then by moving this coin up or down, they move it up, that they're stepping forward, then they probably do more damage. And then if they step back, they move the coin down, then they're more defensive. And that coin that you move back and forth is also a metal coin. Yeah. Next, you have the Druid, which the Druid can shape change into
cat and bear, if I'm remembering.
Cat and bear, that's right.
Yeah.
So in the cat form, I think he does a little bit more damage. In the bear, he's more defensive, but also can damage if depending on which activity. I think he has a maul ability, which makes sense that if you're a bear, that you should do a lot of damage if you're a bear with a maul attack. But he has an overlay board that he can put on, and I believe the Kickstarter exclusive, it's PVC instead of cardboard. So that'll be really nice. And then the last one for the Sun Elf, which I'm also really very excited about. Sun Elf sort of utilizes the power of the sun, of course. I think of her as like a sun priestess. When I saw the artwork for this character, I was like, oh, that's like a sun priestess. The Sun Elf, she gains power from the sun, and every turn the sun rises or sets. And depending on how much you turn that, you can use the power of that sun to augment your attacks. So if the sun set is at level 3, I think it can go maximum 5. You can use the 3 points so instead of doing 7 damage, maybe you're doing 10 damage instead. But then it shifts over to dusk, and then it starts gaining until it's at full sun again and flips over. And that for her, the difference is her character board is foiled. So that'll be the Kickstarter exclusive. And other Kickstarter exclusives as well, like different dice. The fun thing about all these characters is again they have unique dice, but something that would be, I don't know if you can tell, but these are swirl. There's a swirl in them, so that would be like the Kickstarter starter exclusive for the new characters. And you mentioned earlier about the cooperative. The other fun thing about it is that in the box, part of the box is actually a game board, and you're fighting a dragon. I think Naraxis is the name of the dragon, and it is a cooperative variant in that you get to all fight the dragon. The nice thing about Dice Throne is they are all compatible with each other. So it doesn't matter whether I'm playing Dice Throne Adventures or missions or fighting against the dragon Naraxis that comes with the Vanguard characters. You can use those characters, or you could mix and match. Like I could use my Marvel characters for Dice Throne Adventures, or I can use my regular other characters to fight Naraxis, or put them through Marvel missions, which is really fun. And because, again, 35 characters, they're all compatible. They can all fight each other. So you could have Doctor Strange versus the Cursed Pirate or the Barbarian, etc.
And let's just say I had all the money in the world.
Yes.
And I wanted to get into it. Are all 35/39 available to purchase, or have any been like discontinued?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There was a yes. The only yes is the original set that they came out with 6 characters. Did not have like the same artwork. It came in a big box instead of separate boxes. The boards were flat. They didn't fold like these characters. That original set is available. It's out there because that was their very first set. And I used to have it, but I actually ended up, because I upgraded, I ended up giving that set to another friend. But that set is not allowed at tournaments because they've been rebalanced. All the
Right.
characters have been rebalanced since. So that one is no longer. So that's not allowed.
Right.
But other than that, because those are six of the characters that are in the first battle box.
Okay.
The season 1, and you'll notice that Dice Throne season 1 is called Rerolled because this is sort of like
Right.
the repackaging of that original set.
Got it. Okay.
So the original set
I
is
could
no
get all
longer
the
there.
characters. To play.
Same characters. Yeah, same
Okay.
characters, 6 characters. They added 2 more characters to that with the reroll. They added the Treant and the Ninja, I believe, to make it 8, a nice even 8.
That's quite a dichotomy.
Like we'll get a pyromancer, barbarian, a paladin, and then a ninja and a tree.
Yeah, and a moon elf.
Oh, and a moon elf.
Yeah, that's the 8.
Nice.
That's the 8 that starts it with the first one. But yes, the answer is yes. All the characters are available on their website. And obviously you can get them at local game stores as well. The latest Kickstarter campaign that closed last year that is currently in fulfillment now. Again, hoping I get mine soon. They won't be in retail until after the fulfillment is done.
Yeah.
Of course. But once that is, I imagine it'll be available on their website as well. So
amazing.
and those they're coming right now in the month of October, which is perfect because those 4 are called Outcasts, and those characters are more the spooky versions characters. So in that set of the Outcasts, you get the Headless Horseman, the Pale Lady, which is a werewolf, and there's the Raveness, and there's a Necromancer. And you can already sort of guess like what those kind of like mechanics will be like. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean. It's exciting. Sounds like a really fun game. Fun.
One of the things that I love, another thing that I love about is definitely the artwork. And if you look at the artwork, even the Marvel ones, they don't look like your traditional Marvel.
Yeah,
they
no, they
look
all
like the
look
comics.
within the universe.
Within the universe of this, because the main artist is Manny Tremblay, and he's obviously amazing, and this is definitely his style. I believe now because they have more artists, but the newer artists are definitely trying to still stay within the style that Manny has set, and that's also very, very really neat. So seeing like all the different characters, seeing the well-known characters like X-Men and Marvel, and seeing them done in the style of Manny Tremblay has also been really cool. And I think there's one more name I'd like to mention from Dice Throne, and that would be Gavin Brown, who is the lead designer, I think.
Okay.
Graphic designer and designer. I think he also worked on the art. But I like these box set, like putting them in the box sets. I don't know specifically that's attributed to him, but I would imagine he would definitely have been involved in that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, where to start? Barbarian is like I said, like the least complex. So even the website says if you want to start, try the Barbarian. Battle Box comes with the Barbarian and the Moon Elf, I believe, and that's a great combination to play with and to check them out. But yeah, I'm happy to even like do a little learn how to play later if you want. So and teach you guys.
Well,
you can do a King of the Hill.
I'm thinking what would be interesting is have spooky characters
Oh, that would be cool.
go on a mission for Marvel.
Well, as soon as I get my Outcast pledge, guys, I'll let you guys know, and we can do another session of playing those characters.
That actually sounds like a really fun idea.
Really great idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lawrence Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
This has been a blast. Thank you guys so much for having me. And I love talking about games, and especially one of my favorites, Dice Throne.
So that was a great conversation we had with Lawrence Michael.
Honestly, it was. He's so exciting.
Yeah.
I see why he's a Dice Throne, because I would just want to go out and play Dice Throne.
I like how it stemmed very organically from his own interests. He's like,
Right.
I really enjoy this game. I went to Gen Con. I participated in a tournament. I happened to meet the creator of it,
Yeah.
like consistently see him. And I was like, hey, I want to get involved with this thing I am passionate about.
And that's, ground floor too, because it wasn't a thing yet. He's like, oh, this thing is coming out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's serendipitous where it's just like, I want to be more a part of this. Well, we don't have a job for you, but we have this program that we're moving out in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think that is the lesson, if you will, if you want to get more involved with this industry, but not necessarily work in it,
right,
is just find ways to be passionate about the things that you already are, and being okay with having that excitement and sharing it with the people that made your excitement be there in the first place.
Yeah. I know the big conventions are also, they're often looking for, companies are looking for people to work in the booth, because there's so many people coming through that, your employees there, they're doing meetings, everything else is happening. So, so if you wanted to get involved and you were like, oh man, I really love this game, talk to the people about working in a booth. They're not going to pay your travel to get there, but
they will pay for you to work there.
And often they pay you to work there, and and a pass, right?
Yeah.
So that it's
again, you have to fly there, you have to get your own lodging, but you can go to, whether it is a particular game or the publishing company that does that.
Yeah.
They often want people to work these booths, and they're like, they'll pay for you to work there hourly. They will pay for your pass, so it's not like you're losing out too much.
I mean, flights are often the
More
if you live near it, then that's one
or
thing.
If you plan ahead, obviously you can get, let's say, Gen Con, it's Indianapolis, it's August, September time, getting that ticket prior.
Yeah. I went to Origins, it's probably 2019. Origins, and I ran Cypher Systems.
Okay, yeah.
So I got a pass, again, a $60 pass is nothing compared to the flight and hotel it took me to get there. But I believe I used points, from work travel. So it kind of made sense. And honestly, I was just super happy to do it. That whole trip, I ended up just working the Nord Games booth.
Yeah.
The whole time. I'm just like, what else am I going to do? I'm going to walk around, and they're going to, if they need to go to the bathroom, they need somebody at the booth. So
yeah,
that was so much fun. Honestly, that was so much fun.
So yeah, like it even as a consumer, you can still participate in this industry in ways that support your passions for it.
Yeah.
Which I think is a wonderful thing. And I can't think of many industries that allow for just an average person who consumes the product to also participate within it in, honestly, a meaningful way.
I will also say that Lawrence Michael is very charismatic.
Yeah.
Speaks very well, is very excited, he's got his stuff together, it seems. So, not to throw shade, but there might be people out there that are not as competent as Lawrence Michael.
True.
So, but you can get there. You can play missions, and you can improve the player.
Yes. Self-help.
Self-help.
And that is the lesson here. Folks, if you want to participate in this industry without actually being a part of the industry, start reading self-help books as appointed by Thomas Cook. Get on Atomic Habits. Get on The Power of Habit. I'm just listening to self-help books.
What is the secret? I don't know, but you can learn it. Whatever it is.
The Power of You, The Sleeping Giant.
What's the really tall guy who's was in Shallow Hal? Self-help guru.
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
And isn't Shallow Hal Jack Black?
Yeah.
Watch that movie. That is how you'll get involved.
You don't have to watch that movie.
That is how you'll get involved in the board game industry. Read self-help books and watch Shallow Hal. I think that's going to be the way we end this episode, folks. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you again to Lawrence Michael for sharing your passion with us with Dice Throne. And we will see you all for the next episode.
But before you leave, make sure that you like and subscribe and share this with your friends. Also, we're playing games over on the Quests and Chaos YouTube channel, Twitch channel, as well as podcasts. So go ahead and check us out over there.
What is one comment you would like folks to leave down below?
One comment down below. Oh,
or like something that they would like to talk about. You would like them to talk about in the comments.
What is your favorite dice rolling game? Leave that comment down in the comments and we'll check it out.
But until next time, folks, thank you all again for joining us, and we will see you all next time.